so today we're going to be talking about house classifications in astrology. So the three house classifications are angular houses, succeeding houses, and Cain houses. So today we're going to be talking about the different things that are associated with the different types of house classifications and how I use house classifications for career readings. Each of the house classifications is associated with a modality. For example, all angular houses are home to cardinal signs. All succeeding houses are home to fixed signs, and all cadent houses are home to mutable signs. So let's kick off this lesson by talking about the angular houses. The angular houses are 1, 4, 7, and 10, and they are critical houses. Sound familiar? Well, it's because we talked about this in lesson 10. So if you have not looked at lesson 10, I would definitely advise you to go check that out. And I will leave the link in the description for this video. Also, if you have not looked at lesson 10 yet, you're probably very confused right now. So, go ahead and look at the lessons prior to this one and then come back. But for those of you who are caught up, angular houses 1, 4, 7, and 10. These are home to the cardinal signs of the zodiac: Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Cardinal signs, as we know, represent the changing of the seasons. They represent embarking on something new. And that is kind of how cardinal signs operate. They love starting new things. They love kicking off projects. Follow through isn't that great, but they love being the leader to spearhead something. Typically, this kind of theme shows up in transits to angular houses as well. So generally, if you are experiencing a major transit in an angular house, it is going to represent the beginning of a new chapter in your life, or just the beginning of something new, something that you may have not experienced before. So how does this tie into career readings? Well, people who have a lot of planets in angular houses, like I said, these houses are home to the cardinal signs. So these are people that are extremely ambitious. They're not going to be satisfied if they don't have any type of leadership quality in their work or any type of autonomy at work. And they like to start things. They have a whole lot of ideas and they just want to get them out. People with a lot of planets in these houses typically work well under pressure. And if you think about it, angular houses kind of represent pressure. They represent the points in your life that kind of force you to change, and the periods in your life that are going to mold you into who you are. Remember, pressure makes diamonds. So let's talk about succeeding houses now. Succeeding houses are 2, 5, 8, and 11, and they are the home to fixed signs. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So these houses generally tend to be the most unaffected by outside influences. With the matters associated with these houses, you're kind of willing to do whatever it takes to maintain whatever you got going on in the house. So for example, like the second house, it deals with your money. People generally don't play about their money. You know what I mean? People are generally gonna do whatever it takes to kind of sustain their current financial situation, right? Or improve their financial situation, depending on your views on money. That could all be found in your second house. So in relation to career readings, if I see someone has a lot of planets in a succeeding house, that lets me know that they're the kind of person that generally likes to stay somewhere long term. They'd rather see growth within a company than do a lot of job hopping, like a lot of people with a bunch of planets in an angular house would do. Generally, these people want to stay in a job for different reasons, depending on which succeeding house is the packed house. But they have their reason for wanting to stay at a company long term. So for example, if you have a bunch of planets in your second house, you might want to stay at a job long term for stability reasons. You find that job stable, things are going well in that job, why leave? You might want to see growth within that company, but you don't want to leave the company because that is where you feel safe and that's where you know you have stability. Generally, people with a lot of planets in the 5th house, their job is nothing but a way to fund whatever leisure activities they have going on, right? So their passion really isn't at work in the first place. Or they have managed to find a job that ties in to their passion or what they do for fun. They managed to make a career out of that. Either way, they're not going to jeopardize their ability to participate in that leisure activity or have that leisure activity be a big part of their life. So they really could not be bothered with finding something else. If they have a job that pays them well and well enough to do, you know, what they have going on outside of work, or if that job is just super fun for them, they don't want to go anywhere. When it comes to people with a lot of planets in the 8th house, they are all about making serious connections, like unbreakable bonds, especially when it comes to like getting the resources they need or networking. They're really big on that. So they'd rather make those connections within a company that they're already in so that they can keep growing and growing and growing and become stronger and stronger and stronger, as opposed to having to make new connections at somewhere new. And that's kind of the same situation with people with a lot of planets in the 11th house. Only they're the kind of people that tend to get involved in a lot of group work or a lot of like projects at work that involve other people. And because, you know, they have that fixed energy, they want to be reliable. They know they're being relied on. They don't just want to leave jobs, you know, high and dry because like they're looking for something else. They are extremely reliable. Okay, so let's talk about Cain Houses. Cain Houses are 3, 6, 9, and 12. Represented by mutable signs: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So what do we know about mutable signs? They're ever-changing, extremely adaptable, busybodies. So that speaks to the theme of Cain Houses, or what happens when you have major transits in Cain Houses. So these houses are meant to change. It's rare that you kind of analyze the way a person's life has gone and the matters of a Cain house just kind of stayed the same. It's kind of impossible, right? If you look at what the houses represent, the way we communicate it is represented by the 3rd house. There is no way that the way you communicate should stay the same as like when you were 5. Like that is something that evolves over time. 6th house, it's the work that we do. And it's not, it is heavily involved with the work that we do in our place of employment, but it's also like our responsibilities, you know, in our everyday life. And those are going to evolve as we get older as well. Nothing regarding what's going on in Cain houses, so 3, 6, 9, and 12 is permanent, like at all. Like these are constantly changing, and it's a good thing because the matters of this house are kind of expected to change. And so if someone has a packed Cain house, I'm going to try to find jobs for them that kind of work for them, that maybe involve a lot of mental work or maybe physical work, jobs that allow them to walk around. It depends on which Cain house it is, you know what I'm saying? So if they have a lot of planets in the 3rd house, I'm definitely going to try to find something for them that keeps them mentally stimulated. Like they probably like to problem solve at work, or maybe they might be a good writer. It depends on what else is going on in the chart, but definitely something that keeps them busy. They don't like a lot of repetition. You know, you got to keep them on their toes. They like figuring things out. Okay guys, so that was my lesson on house classifications. If you have any questions, as always, just drop them in the comments below. I am the 8th house siren. I'm the 8th house siren on all platforms. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you think you're gonna like this channel, go ahead and subscribe. subscribe so that I can see you, so that you can be counted, so I don't feel like I'm not talking to anyone. All right, so I will see you next time. Bye.